At 55, Richard Rawlings drops a huge secret. The man known as the Greasing Cowboy, Richard Rawlings, who used to be on reality TV shows with his fast and loud behavior, has shocked everyone by telling the truth about his broken marriages. A collection of cars was sold at night, and that was the real reason Discovery Channel brutally canceled his famous show, The Glitzy Life. There is a web of cracks, legal phone calls, a $6 million lawsuit that may have changed everything. Richard Rawlings was once king of the asphalt, but what made him change the game when fame took over? This isn't just the story of a car fanatic, it's a suffocating high-octane investigation, where every detail feels like a fateful drift around a razor-sharp curve. And now Gas Monkey Garage's future is finally revealed in ways that fans couldn't have imagined. In Texas, where every day felt like a bare-knuckle fight, people like him had to claw their way to survival. His story isn't a fairy tale, it's a real lesson in grit and never-ending hustle from the dirty back streets, where he started with just his two hands. Gas Monkey Garage became a giant in the car industry, thanks to Rawlings. But it wasn't easy. He had to deal with setbacks, missed opportunities, and shady connections to get there. Born without a silver spoon, Rawlings made everyone take notice. At age 55, with his career on the rise and his name plastered all over TV and social media, Richard Rawlings made the bold decision to face the rumors that had been following him for years. He didn't duck or hide. He stepped out into the open and talked about the things that had caused lawsuits, broken relationships, and questions about how he built the Gas Monkey empire in a live broadcast speech. Rawlings didn't make excuses. He spoke the truth, deliberately calmly, about his long skids off course, the mistakes that kept him up at night, and the hard lessons that cost him a lot of money. But when the lights went down, there wasn't any relief. Instead, there were new questions. Had he really shared everything, or did he just share the easier parts? Richard Rawlings didn't say sorry. He just told the truth, or at least the part he wanted everyone to believe was true. As night falls in Dallas, the lighted sign for the Gas Monkey Bar and Grill can still be seen. Behind the scenes, a legal storm has been slowly building. Court records show that the person who designed the defiant monkey logo has filed a shocking $6 million case against Richard Rawlings, the man who made Gas Monkey a worldwide icon. The 47-page complaint is like a noir thriller. It's full of harsh charges, such as slander, breach of contract, internal sabotage, and making false financial claims. It has chilling details that would scare anyone. Staff rumors say that Richard is a spoiled 13-year-old. With endless, in a heated boardroom argument, he boldly said he hadn't had access to the bar's financial records for a long time, saying he couldn't look at statements or track the cash flow. But when police and lawyers asked him to back up his claims with system data, Richard fell eerily silent. He didn't say anything in response, and he didn't offer to see the books as a way to make peace. Instead, he avoided looking at the people around him, as if he were hiding a secret he wasn't ready to share. His silence was a stark contrast to what he had said earlier. Defiance only made people more suspicious about his involvement in the mess. Both sides have been very quiet, not letting any information out to the public. Is this a deliberate move to keep things quiet, or is it a sign of a fiercer, darker battle going on below the surface? Things got more complicated in 2019 when Richard responded. He sued the bar for $1 million, saying they were infringing on his trademark by using the Gas Monkey name in events and promotions after their contract had expired. He also said the bar had tied the brand to he did things that hurt his reputation, which he had worked hard to build. But how did that reputation get hurt? And who is really making money off of the Gas Monkey name? Soon, this fight turned into more than just a business dispute. Leaked emails, cryptic podcast comments, and stern looks in secret meetings make me think of a Gas Monkey empire that is falling apart from the inside. It was Richard's idea, and a symbol that he carried around the world. What made it his enemy? Is this just a clash of interests, or does it go deeper? It hides a greater betrayal of a person. In the middle of this legal battle, Richard made another move that made people talk. He sold his legendary collection of cars. These weren't just cars, they were dreams, and the lifeblood of a man who had lived and breathed cars for decades. Many people wondered if the $6 million lawsuit had drained him of his money and made him give up his passion, or if this was just a sneaky move. The answer came quickly. Richard didn't back down. Instead, he spent the money on ultra-luxury rides. Ferraris, Lamborghinis, and other fast cars. Great power and status. It felt like a strong statement. Even if the Gas Monkey Bar and Grill falls apart and the court cases drag on, Richard's soul is still on fire. But are these supercars really the rise of the phoenix, or just a shiny cover for a deeper wound? The result of the lawsuit is still unknown. There have been no public statements or settlements. There has only been silence, as if both sides had decided to end this sad chapter. But what stays is the look in Richard's eyes every time the Gas Monkey Barn grill comes up, and the bright shine of his glory days has faded and been replaced by a quiet anger that can't be named. Richard may have moved on without looking back, but does the sound of those supercar engines still remind him of the gas monkey that used to mean the world to him? This story seems to be taking a shocking turn in 2020, when fast and loud music is still popular on Discovery. Richard Rawlings made the brave decision to leave the network. Fans were shocked by his decision, as the show was still going strong in the numbers and had helped him become famous in the first place. At the height of his fame, with millions of devoted fans, would he step away from the spotlight? In interviews, Richard said he wanted creative freedom, and that his Discovery deal was like a leash that held back his passion and vision. He said, "Fast and Loud did its job," but his eyes showed a hint of weariness. For someone like Richard, who is always coming up with new ideas, that answer makes sense. But was it really that easy? Leaving Discovery was a high-stakes gamble, and Fast and Loud wasn't just a TV show. It was. Walking away meant more than just losing fame. It meant giving up a solid foundation that had been built up over the course of his life. Richard had always been a risk-taker, selling everything as a young man to get through the trauma of being shot in 1990. But this time, people wondered what he was after. A $6 million lawsuit with Gas Monkey Bar and Grill in 2018 accused him of defamation, and he responded with a $1 million suit. Could the scars from that legal battle still be visible? Have made him want to take full control? Or was he just tired of giving in to the network's demands and wanting to get away from the grind of working for a company? His quick and loud exit from Discovery showed Richard's restless spirit. He's a man who never stays still, as he doubled down on his passion by spending a lot of money on sleek Ferraris and Lamborghinis. It was a loud statement that his fire was still burning, but on a different stage. But as those supercars roared to life, did he really leave the past behind? Or did the echoes of Richard Rawlings once said this, while standing in the grease-stained floors of his workshop and listening to the clang of wrenches and the glow of TV lights? But the Fast and Loud mastermind's personal life leaves a much more complicated trail than any car that has ever rolled through Gas Monkey Garage. In that world, marriages were transactions where feelings sometimes came with receipts, contracts, and signatures. He was married to Karen Greames for a short time in 1993. After only a year of dating, there were no kids, no shared property, and not much memory of the woman herself. It was like a prototype car being thrown away before it could be used. The relationship ended without a sound, no scandal, no fallout, and no mark deep enough to last in the records. It wasn't until 1999 that Richard started a heavier journey by marrying Suzanne Merrily. They shared a decade of filming sessions, cross-country business trips, and quiet nights that felt lonely even with someone by his side. Then came divorce, but like a gearhead refusing to give up on an old favorite, he went back to seeing Suzanne in 2015, hoping to fix what they'd lost, like he did with rusty old artifacts in his shop. But when the souls run dry, no amount of new oil or paint can make it hum like it used to. They got back together for 4 years before they broke up for good in 2019. Suzanne left with $300,000, a Mercedes-Benz SL, and no bad words. It was a clean break, like a car title transfer, understated, but leaving a chill in the air that was empty as a garage at night. In the same year, Richard did something that no one saw coming. He announced his engagement to Katarina Deason, who was previously married to billionaire Darwin Deason, who had sold his tech empire to Xerox for over $6 billion. Their relationship caused a lot of buzz, a vintage car mogul and a woman from high society, but their 2020 wedding was kept quiet. There were no cheering crowds, newspaper noise, or flashing cameras. It was just Richard going in a new direction, leaving the familiar behind for a trip without a map. When he thinks about his love life, the endings don't stand out as much as how he always kept his hands on the wheel, even when the road got slippery. With million-dollar rides, lucrative TV deals, and a name that was known all over the world, Richard Rawlings always knew how to rule the game. But it's the numbers in his divorce settlements, not his speed on the open highway, that show how much his freedom really costs. And maybe the one thing he's never been able to get is Richard Rawlings used to be the rock of his family, and a symbol of success and charisma. But behind the scenes, a lesser-known story is told. The dark sides of his life and career have been revealed, from the highs and lows of his personal relationships to the huge lawsuits and the sale of his prized cars. But through it all, one thing stands out: he was strong. Maybe in a world of speed and fame, the hardest thing to hold on to isn't a car, but yourself. Rawlings didn't hide behind a perfect mask. He didn't duck from the public's gaze, but he also didn't give in to its criticism. Instead, he chose to move forward, taking his scars as proof of a life well lived instead of chasing the fleeting rewards of fame. He took responsibility for his mistakes, learned from his mistakes, and got back up after every fall. He showed that true success isn't a list of wins, but the strength to handle life's challenges. For people who follow Rawlings's journey, the lesson is courage, the courage to face reality as it is, flaws and all. It's also a gentle reminder of how to be successful. A gentle reminder that silence or secrets don't always mean someone is lying. In a time when the media can twist the truth, protecting what's most important by holding on to your strength, kindness, and determination to face the past might be the most honorable way to protest. For all of us wading through a sea of noise and rumors, Richard Rawlings doesn't care if the world loves him. All he wants them to see is this: to be a gas monkey, you have to be willing to burn down the past to keep moving forward. As well as doubt, the lesson is to dig deeper and see that silence doesn't always mean something isn't there. In a world full of noise and confusion, understanding and respect are still the greatest and most valuable things. What do you think about these secrets? How true are these rumors that they are? What caught you by surprise the most? Leave a comment below with your thoughts on this shocking story. Since you watched this video, please click the like button if you thought it was interesting. Sign up for our channel and hit the bell to make sure you never miss the hottest news from